Hey guys, and welcome back to the Spruce and Linen channel. I'm Janelle, and today is an exciting video. We are talking all about packing up your weavings and shipping them. And today's video is sponsored by NOISSUE. NOISSUE is an amazing company that makes eco-friendly packaging. They have low minimum order quantities, which is perfect for makers like us. And they were kind enough to send us some of their tissue paper and tape to give a try, and I was lucky enough to get to design it myself. So we're going to quickly talk about these different things, and then I will show you how I pack up my weavings and measure them and weigh them in order to figure out a shipping cost. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm just going to read you some of the things on this little card that came with my order, just to give you a little bit more information on NOISSUE. So they use wood pulp for their tissue and stickers, and they make sure that it's sustainably harvested with certification from the FSC. They have compostable materials, so they have these completely compostable mailers that I'm going to show you in a second. And it's just a really cool thing that they're doing this and that you don't have to buy like super huge quantities. So they also sent me this little sample package with some of their other things that I didn't order. This is their tissue paper again, but they also make stickers. So they have like a few different sizes of stickers, and I definitely want to order some stickers in the future. They have these 100% compostable mailers. I believe you can buy them both just like this for a lower cost, or you can get them customized for an additional cost, I believe. They have a design program sort of built into their website, so you can design your own stuff. You kind of want to have your graphics ready, and for my tissue paper, I had the whole design in the exact size I needed already finished, and then just uploaded that. All right, so as you can see, they have like a lot of different varieties, so depending on how you package up your stuff, there's probably something for you. So the other thing that I got from them was this tape. So I put my logo on it, and it's just like a repeating pattern of my little logo there, and I love it. This is gonna look so great. I decided to go with a white background since I use craft cardboard colored boxes. I thought this would be a nice contrast against that. So I've never used this kind of tape without an actual dispenser. This is the kind of tape that you have to wet the back in order to activate the glue that's on there. So we'll see how that goes on without an actual dispenser. And then with this beautiful tissue paper, I'm so excited about it. So what I did for this tissue paper was I actually went onto creativemarket.com, which is my go-to resource for different graphics and fonts and all kinds of different illustrations. Like, it's a huge resource. If you've never used it before, check it out, because you might find it really helpful if you need to design a logo or any of these different things. So this particular pattern came in this pack that I bought, and I absolutely loved this repeating pattern, and so I just changed the background color. And I will tell you that on my computer this looked a lot greener. It's kind of more reading as a very dark greenish gray, like more gray than green. So I would say that if you're going for a subtle color, maybe make sure it's like a little bit more vibrant on your computer, because when it prints out, it kind of seems to dilute that a little bit, which makes sense. So yeah, they sent me a ton of this tissue paper, like a big box of it, and I'm so excited to use it. So we're gonna just jump right in now to packing up a weaving, and I'll show you exactly how I pack up mine. All right, you guys, so we're ready to pack up this little weaving. You probably recognize this from our start to finish mini woven wall hanging series. And I'm just gonna show you how I do this. So I like to roll up my weavings. For a small one, as you can see, I'm only gonna need one piece of the tissue paper, so that's really nice. But when I'm doing really big weavings, what I'll do is I'll actually take multiple sheets of tissue paper and I'll tape them together before I start rolling, so that it kind of is one big continuous sheet and isn't like, you're not trying to wrestle with different seams and things sliding and that kind of thing. So I just lay my weaving down, and I like to get it, you know, close to the top, and then I'll fold this end over. And then what I like to do before I start rolling the whole thing up is I like to fold down the sides of my tissue paper. I apologize for probably the really annoying sounds you're about to hear. So I fold that down And then especially when you have like some poofy roving going on, I like to just make sure that I'm not wrapping this too tightly. So I keep it fairly loose. And I just keep tucking this in as I go. And then when I get to this point, I have a lot of excess here. I like to just like kind of fold this like you would the corners of a present. And then we have this nice little rolled up package. And then I have some washi tape. I also really like washi tape because if someone really wanted to, they could probably save this piece of tissue paper and not have the tape just like kind of ripping everything. All right, so that's taped up. I love this tissue paper. And then what I like to do, and again, you can get really creative with your packaging. You could use a piece of yarn or ribbon or something that was in the weaving as well. I'm just going to use this twine, but what I like to do to make it just a little more special, I'm going to get 2 pieces the same length. And you can pick up this kind of twine pretty much anywhere, like the dollar store or Michael's or even the grocery store. And then what I like to do is I like to not pull it too tight, but a little bit tight there. And then I tie it in a knot, and then I'm just gonna tie it in a bow. I just really like it if someone opens a package and they're like pleasantly surprised that there's something a little extra special than just kind of tossed in a box without much thought. Because we're makers, we're artists. I think it's important to have our packaging reflect that, which again is why I feel even more elated to have some extra special tissue paper. And then I take one of my business cards. I just get mine from Vistaprint, but there's tons of different places and places that make the recycled kind of business cards as well. So then I take a couple pieces of my washi tape and I tape that onto the top of the package. And then we have this adorable little bundle. And I'm so in love with this. I just think if your packaging makes you excited, it's gonna make your customers really excited too. So let's talk a little bit now about the shipping process. Shipping is something that stopped me from even starting my Etsy shop for a very long time. Like, I'm talking years. I would have started an Etsy shop years earlier if I wasn't afraid of shipping. So that's part of why I wanted to make this video as well, because you shouldn't be afraid to ship, because it's not as difficult or as scary as you think it is. So I'm gonna grab my shipping box and I will tell you a little bit about that. Okay, so I get all of my boxes from Uline. I'm about 5 hours away from Edmonton, but they do have one in Edmonton, so when I need boxes, I try to stop there, but you can get them shipped. It's a little bit pricey depending on what you're getting. But what I like about them is that you can order boxes in small quantities. Like, a lot of their boxes come in at 25 quantity. So to me, I'm just like, well, that's not so bad. I'm okay with having, a couple hundred boxes in various sizes on hand, but I'm not okay with having to buy like 100 of the exact same box. So for my minis, I almost always use a 12 by 3 by 3 box, which is, by the way, not the true size. Funny story, when I shipped my very first weaving, I just used the measurement that the box told me it was, and it was actually bigger than that, and I had to pay for some extra shipping because I was wrong. So they come flat, which is really nice. So you just have like a stack of flat boxes. So I'm gonna set that one aside. Okay, so I already put this one partially together just for ease of the video. But we're just gonna put our little weaving in the box, which I probably packed this one even looser than I should have, but sorry for the sound again, but it fits in there just fine. And then I'm gonna try to use this tape. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I've heard really good things about it. So in this case, I'm going to kind of measure out how much I think I will need. So I'm gonna say that's probably plenty. And because I have like this repeating pattern on the tape, I'm just gonna cut right between the logos so that it's even. Okay, so now I need to wet down this tape and tape it onto here. And I'm really, really hoping this goes well. So they sent me a sponge. I think I would prefer to use a smaller sponge though, like the same width of the tape. So I might cut this one down at some point, but I'm just gonna start wetting the tape. I think honestly, I will probably quickly be investing in a dispenser for this because this doesn't seem, I think I'm gonna get tired of doing it this way. Hopefully that's enough. So I'm going to stick it to the flap of the box here first. And then I like to fold this down and just start pressing it on. Oh, that actually wasn't so bad, you guys. I could see this being more of a challenge with a much bigger box. That's probably especially where you'd want a dispenser. Okay, you guys, this is very satisfying to me. How exciting is it going to be for your customer to get their package and instantly know who it is, where it's from, and get extra excited to open it up? So now is the shipping process. This is the part that I was terrified of, and it's really silly that I was, and I probably do things a little bit overkill, to be honest, but it works for me, and it got me away from the fear of it and actually doing it. So, excuse me while I grab. This is my best friend. It's a kitchen scale. So I just went on Amazon and looked for a high-rated kitchen scale. This is the one I picked up. You're also gonna want some sort of measuring tape. Now I use Canada Post a lot, but in Etsy, you can buy your shipping labels right through Etsy, which makes your life a little bit easier as well, and you get discounts. So what I will do is I'll get a weaving that's kind of the same size as whatever I'm putting in the listing, and I'll get the box and whatever I'm putting in the box, and I will set it on my little scale. So I have to measure everything in grams and kilograms because Canada Post. Okay, so my package is 200 grams, which is 0.2 kilograms. And so I would type that in, whether it's on Canada Post's website or on Etsy. So if you're not from Canada, these things are still applicable if you're using the shipping within Etsy. So you have to weigh your package, whether that's in kilograms or pounds, whatever it is, weigh your package. And then I take my trusty measuring tape and I actually measure the box because, like I said, this box is not what it says it is. It's 12 by 3 by 3, but in actuality, in inches anyway, it's more than 12. It's about 12 1/4. So that's what you'd want to be using when you're inputting those numbers. Like, I will always err on the side of a bit bigger than the package actually is because you don't want to get those extra shipping charges later. So I'll measure every side of the box, input that information, and then it gives you all your different shipping options and prices and all of that. And like, that's it. You print out your shipping label. When I'm using a box like this, I usually do it at about 75%, which fits right here. I often just use packing tape to tape on my shipping labels. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get an actual like sticker shipping label printer, but if you just have a regular printer, that's fine. Just use that and tape it on with clear tape so that you can see all the information very visibly, and that's it. So as you can see, I don't know if you have the same fear I did, but I was just so afraid of this process, and now I'm not. And thank you so much to NOISSUE for providing this beautiful packaging. I'm so excited about it. I knew I would be obsessed right away, and now that it's here, I'm even more obsessed. The other thing I just want to mention is that the minimum order quantity, I think, for the tape is 5 rolls, which might seem like a lot, and this is gonna last me quite a while, 5 rolls of this. But when you think about it in the big scheme of things, a lot of other companies require you to buy a lot more than that. So 5 rolls is definitely not crazy. So one last thing I wanted to mention is that this tissue paper does come in a couple of different sizes, as you can see. I think this one I don't know if it's called the regular size, but it's the bigger one. And then they have this smaller stuff as well. And the whole reason I decided to get a darker color for my background is because when I looked at some of the pictures online, I did notice that the white, which their white is just not printed on. So the white isn't a color that gets printed. So it's just the color of the paper to begin with. It is a little bit see-through. So that's why I decided to go with a darker color, because I really wanted it to be a little bit more opaque. Another huge shout out to No Issue for sending us this beautiful custom packaging. I'm so happy with it, and I'm so grateful that we got to do this video and tell you about an eco-friendly packaging company. If you would like to order your own custom packaging, you can go to noissue.co. They have tons of different options, and you can literally get this stuff printed in any color. So if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Floyd just started barking so much. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Just waiting for the dogs to stop being psychopaths. I think I probably need to talk about the tissue paper again because the freaking chair was in the shot. I'm going to talk about the tissue paper again. With the F. Of course, when you're in a rush, you can't say anything right. Okay. So this one is 200 grams. So that's 0.2 kilograms. Right? Yes. Math. For sending us this. I just spit. I'm getting hungry, you guys. Salivating. I'm like thoroughly obsessed with this tissue paper.